finna get started soon, Lord's will. All right, let's get into it. Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone who still rule well and who have taught me this truth, right? Peace and salutations to the elect out there, scattered across the four corners of the earth, right? May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household. May you also continue to endure, right? Shalom to Akim on the highways and byways, week in and week out, doing this work as Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai commanded us to do, right? May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household. May you also continue to endure, right? Shalom to you believers, man, all right, who believe in the sincere names of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, right? May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai also bless you and your household. May you also continue to endure, right? And also, shalom to you sisters, man, you sincere sisters, that is, all right, who are listening to this gospel and in silence and obedience, all right? May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you receive a man of the Lord, all right, during these last days. And final, shalom to you Israelite foreigners who don't look like your regular Israelites, but your bloodline, your seed line, and your loins go back to you being, all right, from our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right? And may Yahweh Bashmi Ashasa bless you in your household as well, right? It's your brother Debakia from the Sons of Yasharallah, GMS Colorado Springs Camp, coming to you again with another live lesson on the highways and byways, right? And I pray that you're edified, because that's what I come out here for, edification and exhortation, all right? And we're going to get into it, man. All right, no particular scriptures come to mind. We're just going to flow in the spirit. Let's go ahead and go to Matthew chapter 24. All right. We're in the book of Matthew chapter 24, and we'll jump down to verse 4. All right, and these words are in red. So that's our Lord Yahweh Shai, which means he delivers. All right, the Lord's Son, all right, in the flesh, speaking to us, man. All right, speaking to the hopeful elect, that is. So here we are, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 4. All right, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, right? And how do you take heed? You take heed by examining yourself, man, right? Seeing if you're in the right spirit or not, praying, fasting, repenting, right? Listening to sound doctrine, calling on the names of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, right? Fearing Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, right? Not no goddamn Cesare Borgia, also known as the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come, for many shall come in my name, right? Saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many, right? You have false deception, all right? You got false teachers out here, right? False Israelite leaders, right? A lot of you who say you don't have to hit the highways and byways, right? Because yes, we do, man. We have to present our bodies as a living sacrifice. How do we present our bodies as living sacrifice, man? By coming out here on these highways and byways to teach amongst the people, right? Amongst the elements, amongst the trees, amongst the city, right? For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many, right? Because a lot of you Israelite leaders think you're more important, right, than our Lord Yahweh Shai, in which you're not, right? Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you not be troubled, right? Because the hopeful elect, we're not moved by any of this confusion and madness that we see, right? We know that every single day that we wake up, we're a day closer, right, to our salvation, which is why we pray to Yahweh Shai, right, to continue to send the plagues, to continue to send the wrath, and to continue to send a destruction, right, to this prideful place, America, also known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, right? Continue it on. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass. All prophecy has to be fulfilled, right? Before our Lord Yahweh was shy, right? The one who the world ignorantly knows is Cheez-Its Christ, right? Comes back. All right? But the end is not yet. Okay? Because we still have some major prophecies that have to pop off before all hell breaks loose, right? That MOTB, that mark of the beast, that RFID micro C-HIP has yet to be mandated, right? Jacob's trouble. We're in Jacob's trouble now as I do this lesson, right? But all hell hasn't completely broke loose yet. I'm still able to come out, right, amongst myself, right? And you people are still able to watch in your leisure, in your free time, all right? And you're still able to do heinous and wicked things, right? So no, we're not in the deep of Jacob's trouble, but yes, we're in the beginning of it, starting with them Ice Cube agents, right? But the end is not yet. For nation, right? And that word nation also goes into nationality, man. Because what? Race wars are also biblical, right? You're going to have Esau, Edom versus Judah, right? In these last days. As well as the damn so-called white man coming up against the tribes. All right, he has already started, but it's not on a mass level. In fact, we're getting to that point though, man. Every other day you find another Jake, right? Which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, specifically you so-called blacks, right? Being hung from trees, all right? Being castrated, all right? This damn devil does not care about you Israelites' life. Yet, you still have our wicked-ass women, right? The nigga woman, right? Who's trying to fucking fit in and date the damn Edomite man. Not even realizing that this fucking devil hates you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' guts, man. And guess what? I despise you devils as well. Bear with me. All right. All right, let's get it again. For nation shall rise against nation, right? Going into them race wars that are biblical prophecy that is going to happen in this generation, right? And kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, right? We're already in a famine. As I do this lesson, man, Colorado is in a drought, man. Food isn't being supplied, water isn't being supplied. And you got these AI data centers, right? Taking the majority of the water of the irrigation system that we have. Right? King Devil Nero Trump said this is only the beginning of those AI data centers, and that you Americans, you Babylonians, need to get down with the program. Right? It's only going to get worse, man. All right, so to hell with you people out there, all right, scoffing, talking shit against the men of the Lord. Hey, how about you Ashai continues to bring horrible judgment to you fucking people speedily, right? Shalach Rayab. All right, I'm already seeing judgment happen. All right, a lot of those people in my past who have offended me, they're catching major hell, man. And it's only going to get worse. All right, and for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, right? Going into diseases, right? Things of that nature, right? And earthquakes in diverse places. All right, you can literally download the earthquake app and see how many earthquakes are already taking place. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yashai, they're not men that they should lie. Okay, Esau Edom's gonna come down with that wrath, right? Pursuant to the book of Revelation, right? The devil shall come down with great wrath because he knoweth that his time is short. All right, and he's going to bring all hell, all right, to you tribes, especially to you people who are not a part of the elect. More specifically, you fucking 2/3, right? To hell with you fucking 2/3, you YNs, you shiesty wearing ass niggas, all right? You're gonna get drafted for World War III. All right, we're gonna see if you niggas are really hard when King Devil Nero Trump, all right, makes it mandatory for any of you young men to go to fucking war. All right, we're gonna see who's the real gangsters, man. Because you niggas like to be villains towards your own people and not the fucking, not against the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. And that shit is corny, man. Right? In diverse places. Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. We're currently in a phase referred to in the scriptures as the beginning of sorrows, man. And it's only going to get worse. That's inevitable, right? Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. This is going to happen to the hopeful elect, to the men of the Lord, right? To the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, not to you, you effeminate, soft-ass Christians, right? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai doesn't want anything to do with you effeminate-ass Christians, man. You effeminate-ass Catholics. Because you don't have the gospel, you don't have the truth, all right? You're just completely bugged out, all right? And you teach a sensationalized version of the scriptures, man. All right? So to hell with you pastors, you so-called pastors, right? To hell with you fucking 2/3, and to hell with you heathens. Beginning with Esau Edom, right? All these are the beginning of sorrows. Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, right? Because some of the men of the Lord during these last days, right? We're going to have our lives potentially took away. But it is what it is, all right? Because we stood for something and we didn't fall for anything, all right? Ultimately, we became martyrs for the truth, right? And we sacrificed our livelihoods to come out here on the highways and byways, right? While the whole world is having fun, the hopeful elect are out here, you know, teaching this gospel to the best of our ability, all right? And letting these people know that disaster is on the horizon, right? Yes, sir. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated, all right, of all nations for my name's sake. Okay, because ultimately, if you hate the men of the Lord, beginning with the hopeful elect, right, you're ultimately hating what? Yahweh should be Yahweh Shai, not us. There's nothing you can do to us. Oh, well, I don't give a fuck. I've had haters before I even came into this truth, and I have even more haters now that I'm in this truth. But what do you think I'm about to do? Just quit, give up? Man, I'm going to keep prophesying till my legs fall off, so there's no more breath in my voice, right? For my name's sake. And what's the names, man? Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, those are the names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, right? The one who the world ignorantly knows is Jesus Christ, right? Continue it on. Hold up, bear with me. Put this instant somewhere. All right. Let's get it. Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Right? This has yet to happen, but this is going to happen here soon, during our current lifetime, man. Right? Elder Apostle Tahar always talks about it, man. We have agents in every single Great Millstone Camp. But Yahweh Shai Shai, right, is going to sift you wicked ass niggas out. Because if you fell out of this truth, you're going to be destroyed, man. Or you have death angels around you. All right? And there's nothing that you can do about it. Right? And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and deceive many, right? And because iniquity shall abound, right, the love of many shall wax cold, right? It's getting more worse out here. Anytime you have any type of what? Disaster in the public eye, guess what the people do? Instead of helping out that person who's being harmed, they're going to pull out their phone and record the shit, man. That's an example of the love of many waxing cold. Because, all right, you people, right? Hold up. You people who aren't a part of this truth, man, you're good for nothing. Right? You're bugged the hell out, and you have demons on you. Okay? And that's why Yahweh Shai is only dealing with the hopeful elect, right? Beginning with the 144,000 from each tribe, all right, who come out here and present our bodies as a living sacrifice. There's a reason why I keep saying that, because this is a full-time job, right? To hell with your job. I know we all have work that we have to attend to, but nonetheless, this right here, this gospel should be your main priority, straight up. Verse 13, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. All right, we have to endure until the end, not until tomorrow, not until next week, not until the next few weeks, right? Not until the next 4 or 5 weeks, but until the end. Because, hey, if you come into this gospel and come into this truth, it's inevitable that you're going to catch hell, right? You're going to catch more hell in this gospel and this truth than you did when you were in the world, right? Oftentimes, I'm like, yo, why don't I have so much, as much motion like I did when I was in the world? I answered the question myself, man, because I came into this gospel, and it is what it is, right? You have to accept that. Hey, scriptures say count the cost, and the cost of coming in to this gospel is losing everything, whether it be your woman, your home, your house, right? Your friends, your job, etc., right? But nonetheless, that's not going to stop, right, the hopeful elect from coming out here and teaching these scriptures, right? And letting the so-called white man, the fucking Edomite of the Bible, know that they're going into slavery, all right, for what they've done to the children of Israel, beginning with you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Continuing on. Verse 13 again, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13. But he, right, that he is the hopeful elect, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved, right? Verse 14, and the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, right? Because this gospel has reached the 4 corners of the earth. You can find an Israelite camp on every single corner of this earth, right? So you're being willfully ignorant if you don't take heed to what the men of the Lord, the Yahweh Shai's physical mouthpiece, all right, are saying in these last days, all right? And judgment is going to come speedily. And then shall the end come, all right? So until the hopeful elect is sealed on all 4 corners of the earth, the end is not yet. Meaning what? We still have major work to do. What's that work? Teaching this gospel, doing our lessons, doing our sit downs, right? Going to camp, being brotherly, showing love, showing respect, giving alms, etc., man, right? Verse 15. When ye therefore shall see the... Oh, let's jump down. That's going into something else. It's going into 70 AD. All right. All right. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21. All right. And these words are in red. That's our Lord Yahweh Shai, right? He, meaning what? He is the deliverer speaking. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And that great tribulation is going into Jacob's trouble, right? When all hell breaks loose, concentration camps, all right? The men of the Lord being placed underneath what? The guillotine, for what we believe in, right? For fearing Yahweh Shai, right? And etc. That's that great tribulation phase. And then what else? That MOTB, which is that mark of the beast, that RFID micro C-hip, right? Being mandated. That has to come to pass as well. All right? That goes into the great tribulation. Okay? And except those days shall be shortened, right? There shall no flesh be saved. All right? But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, right? We're already in the third quarter of 2026, man. It feels like yesterday, right? We were just, January 1st, so-called New Year's, man. Now it's August, what, 9th, right? These days are being shortened because the hopeful elect are coming out here on the highways and byways and summoning Yahweh Shema Shai to listen to our prayers and to take heed and judge our enemies, man, because we're in that repentant spirit, man. We constantly pray to Yahweh Shema Shai, man, saying what? We were sorry. Salakia, Salakia, forgive me, right? For all the wrongdoings that I have done, because living underneath this fucking Edomite is pure hell, right? All of our food is tainted. You can't eat the eggs. You can't eat the avocados. You can barely eat the produce, right? All type of shit is being recalled back, man. And you mean to tell me that, all right, this isn't hell? All right, I like to say this every other camp, man. The so-called white man's heaven is the so-called black man's hell. All right, but you got Israelite fucking camps like IUIC talking about, oh, if you don't fear Jeebus Christos, right, you're gonna burn in hell, man. You fucking Israelite camps have been paid off, as well as you damn Christian churches, man. You've been completely paid off, and Yahweh Shema Shai is going to expose you niggas in these last days, and he's already doing it, man. All right, people are dropping dead like none before, man. All right, you have mass shootings at a high level, right? Every time an Edomite does a mass shooting, right? Guess what these devils bring up? What about Chicago? Man, fuck Chicago. What about the great rob and murder that you've done throughout the damn centuries, man? What about that? The fuck? It's getting back to it, man. All right, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 22 again. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, right? Because if Yahweh Shema Shai didn't shorten these days, right, this damn devil will have his way. He'll annihilate and exterminate all of planet Earth, all right? If Yahweh Shema Shai, our holy powers, didn't intervene. And that's why we're thankful, right, that Yahweh Shema Shai sent us the Rakah Kodash, right, in this generation, right? Because if not, we'll still be going around calling ourselves so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, man. All right, ain't shit black about me but my hair, beard, mustache, and eyelashes, nigga. I'm a different shade of brown. All right, meanwhile, you fucking devils, you're different shades of red. Let's talk about that, right? And I'll bring it out, Lord's will. Genesis chapter 25 and verse 25. Because this black and white shit is just a social construct to keep you people confused. Right, continuing on. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Verse 23. Then, if any man shall say unto you, right, lo, here is Hamashiach, or there, believe it not, right? Because you constantly have what? False messiahs, right? There's plenty of antichrist. All right, anybody who comes against this gospel, right, is ultimately anti-Hamashiach. All right, but nonetheless, you're not going to learn that in the Christian church. You're only going to learn that over here at Great Millstone, because we have the 100% truth and we have sound doctrine, right? Sound doctrine is teaching this gospel in its entirety, right? Not sugarcoating, all right, the gospel, because we want what? Goodies and coins, right? Verse 24, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, right, and it's not possible, by the way, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Verse 26, wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, all right, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, right? Believe it not. Because when Yahweh Shema Shai, when Yahweh sends Yahweh Shai, all right, to save the hopeful elect, the children of Israel, right, it's going to be blatantly obvious, right, that it's a supernatural force that's being dealt with, all right? Because throughout time and history, going into it, you've had plenty of men, all right, who claim to be the Messiah, and that's not the case. You can't walk on water, right? You can't walk through doors or walk through walls, all right? You can't make fish into, you can't bring out food for a great multitude, right? Roughly paraphrasing, man. Nonetheless, the hopeful elect is not going to be deceived. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? Continuing on. Believe it not, all right? Matthew chapter 24 and verse 27. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, right? So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. And how's Yahweh Shai gonna come, man? All right, on that chariot with the holy angels, right? To annihilate all his enemies, right? And to beam up the hopeful elect, all right? And if you can't understand that, then this isn't for you, all right? This is only for the elect, all right? We're not out here trying to save the whole nation, all right? I take pleasure, I take delight in coming out here teaching the words of Yahweh Shai Shai, right? Standing up, right? Against these wicked-ass people and these wicked-ass philosophies that America has infiltrated, not just here in this country, right, but throughout the whole world, right? You devils' philosophies have traveled abroad, if you will, right? Verse 28 or 29. Immediately, right after Jacob's trouble, which is the great tribulation. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, which goes into those thermonuclear missiles, right? And the stars shall fall from heaven, right? And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken, right? And how are they going to be shaken, right? By those thermonuclear missiles that China has, that Russia has, that North Korea has, that South Korea has, that Japan has. But you bugged out Americans think that you're the only one, well, all right, with the big cajones, if you will. All right, all these other small nations have nuclear missiles too, and they're going to annihilate this place for the fucking wickedness that has been preached, teached, and emphasized right throughout planet Earth, right? Going into the great, what's that shit called? I'm trying to think of that term, because these devils, all that they use is crazy ass terms, right? And ultimately, it's just all rooted in wickednism, man. All right. Anytime you have fucking Edomites on this earth coming up in any nation, all right, guaranteed to be wickedness, diseases, and plagues, man. All right, these devils still uplift Christopher killing Columbus for what he has done to you fucking to the northern kingdom, man. Right? That's nothing to be proud of. But these devils, they take pride in being in being murderers, right? And putting people to death, conquering their lands, right? Raping their women. That's cracker culture for you, man. Right? You had a fucking Edomite just stop. Say something, nigga. You're going into fucking slavery. It's inevitable. Don't give a shit. And how about you? I shot Shalak where I am to all you fucking Edomites, man. Continuing on. And then, verse 29 again, Salakia. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, right? And the stars shall fall from heaven, right? And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, right? Right after those nukes come, Yahweh Shai is going to come in that chariot, man, on that big fathership, not a mothership. That never has existed. That's more, American wickedness, right? And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, right? And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, right? Because when Yahweh Shai comes back in this generation, all right, he's putting belt to ass, man. BTA. All right, on all you heathens, all right, you Edomites, you 2/3, All right, and any of you scoffers, scorners, and mockers, man. Right? And also to you jakes who fell out of the truth. Right? Just thinking to yourself, oh, this isn't for me. Oh, it's taking too long. All right? You jakes don't have any faith. Right? Because faith is a gift. Right? Verse 31, and he shall send his angels, right, with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other, right? Because the hopeful elect is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Once again, you're not going to learn this in your plantation Christianity church. All right, you're only going to receive this and learn this information, all right, from the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, man. All right, beginning with Elder Apostle Tahar on down, right? Continuing on. Verse 32, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 32. A lot of good meat and milk in this. Now, learn a parable of the fig tree, when his branch is yet tender, all right, and putteth forth leaves. Ye know that summer is nigh. And what's that summer, man? All hell breaking loose. Jacob's trouble. It's a parable, obviously, which is a figure of speech, man. Right? The parable, right? But ultimately, Yahweh Shah has to be dealing with you for you to understand these parables. Ye know that summer is nigh, right? We know that all hell is about to break loose. Verse 31, so likewise, ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors, man. All right, Yahweh Shai is at the door, man. All right, where our salvation is nearer than what we've ever believed, okay? So all that we have to do in these last days, man, is fear Yahweh Shai, keep the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, take heed to ourselves and pray. Right? Pray for our delivery and pray for the fucking Edomites' destruction. Right? Verse 34. Verily, I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. All right? Heaven and earth shall pass away. Excuse me. But my words shall not pass away. Right? Verse 36. But of that day, a 555, call Allah Yahweh Shabbat Shai. All right, here we are. But of that day and hour knoweth no man. We don't know when it's going to come. All that we have is faith, man. All that we know that Yahweh Shabbat Shai is in the process of delivering us, right? No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. The only one who knows when all this is going to take place is who? Yahweh Shai's Father, which is our power. His name is Yahweh, which means he is or he is to be. That's the only one that knows when all hell is going to break loose, man. But we know through the Spirit, right, that we're close, man. We're very close, okay? Because this earth is getting worse. Verse 38, for as in the days that were before the flood. Go read about this, right? You gotta be studious in this gospel. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, just like what you see now. I'm at an event called Jazz in the Park, which happens here every Sunday in Denver, right? Where you have all type of people from the city. They come together and they listen to jazz and have a good time. All right, but we're not in a time of having a good time. We're in a time of all hell breaking loose, man. This earth is very hot, right? Wickedness has passed the heavens, right? You got women thinking they're more holier than men, right? I can go on and on into a tangent, man. They were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage. Every time I get on my Instagram feed, guess what I see? One of my peers going to a wedding, attending a wedding, or getting married, man. Like, you people are slow, man. You don't realize that all of this shit is to no avail, okay? I'm not saying it's wrong to have a wife, but ultimately this gospel, right, is what, right, you men, you specifically you Israelite men should be married to, man. Not a Babylonian thought who's still gonna text niggas while you're not even with her. Just being honest. It is what it is. All right, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah, right, entered into the ark. All right, so we're back in the days of Noah. All right, where these people think that they're in a good case, okay? But ultimately, Yahweh Shema Shai is bringing judgment, man. Death angels are all across this world and across this earth. And if you can't see that, man, you're more blind than Ray Charles. Verse 40. All right, let's jump down to verse 42. Watch, therefore, right? For ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come. Because we have to watch and pray and take heed, all right, to this gospel, right? Verse 43. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known and what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not suffered his house to be broken into. All right? Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such as an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. All right? Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Who's that good and faithful servant, man? The hopeful elect that come out here, present our bodies as living sacrifice, right? Keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, right? That's who Yahweh Shema Shai is dealing with, man. Not the whole nation. Verse 44. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. All right. Verse 46, Salakia. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. And we're doing what? Teaching this gospel, hitting the highways and byways, preaching in season, out of season, right? Not being a couch potato Israelite, not taking heed to yourselves, right? Thinking that you got it made just because you're in His truth, man. Just look, you knowing that you're an Israelite, that's half the battle, man. All right? As a man of the Lord, you're instructed to come out here and teach the nations about Yahweh Shema Shai, to stand up. All right? Not to be fucking lazy. Can't stand you lazy ass niggas. And if I don't like you lazy ass niggas, I already know that Yahweh Shema Shai is not dealing with you lazy ass niggas. It is what it is. Continuing on. Verily, I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. Because the elect, we're going to receive that reward, right? Verse 48. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming. So you jakes who fell out of this truth, all right, you're an evil servant. And Yahweh Shema Shai is going to fucking destroy you, man. Right? So you jakes who put down the plow, right? Yahweh Shema Shai is going to destroy you as well. Okay? Because Yahweh Shema Shai, he wants his men to come out here and present our bodies as a living sacrifice and to be doing this work. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord Yahweh delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, right? Which goes back to you niggas taking heed to the philosophies of this world. Verse 40. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, which goes into you being judged swiftly and speedily. Verse 51. And shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right, I'm going to get Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7 and wrap this lesson up. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7, and it reads, Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it, right? It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And that that he who's going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble are the hopeful elect, man. All right. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this lesson. I pray that you were edified, because that's what I come out here for, edification and exhortation. I'm going to close it out by saying, Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kodash. I pray that you are edified, because that's what I do these lessons for, edification and exhortation. All right, but besides that, hey, shalom, shalom, and Yahweh Shem Shai, abad babal, and abad babal. Shalom.